as the tide changes, and there's this thing about the changing nature of the sea, the colours, and then as the different lights come and go, and the tides move, and everything else, it just changes by the minute almost. I've been watching this part of the Irish Sea since the late 70s, and I've continued to do it for the best part of 50 years. And we came here specifically to see the seabirds, and this to me became the most exciting place to do it because we were often here during the migration periods, and simply you couldn't know what would turn up next. On a clear day you can see North Wales, and in the winter it's quite amazing. You see the snow on the mountains. And then, yeah, if you go west and south, um, there's nothing much for 7,000 miles, which is why anything can turn up here. So we've had things like albatrosses from the southern hemisphere. We've had the Manx shearwaters, which is our Pembrokeshire bird, really. I know the National Park thinks it's a razor-billed, but our national bird, really, in Pembrokeshire, is a shearwater. And as a young bird, they'll go out to the South Atlantic and hang around there for a while. And then, after a year or two, they'll follow their parents back, and they'll come back to the same island and maybe even the same rabbit hole. And the adults do, year in, year out. And how phenomenal is that? It's this place is full of romance, really. That's the thing. That it started off just as a place of interest, but it's a romance of it that really grabs you in the end. Just closer in, can you see there's a sort of shiny bit um, where there's a buoy there as well, and that's a bit of a tide race pulling off the what we call the mackerel rock there, and so we get the tide races differ. We can get an inner one, but also a much bigger outer one, and that's formed by the sea, the tide coming round the headland there and the islands, and then over the centuries, it's millennia, it's created a undersea canyon or two undersea canyons which stretch out way over there to the east, and then all the debris and sand and everything that's been washed through these gullies ends up at a place called Strumble Bank, and that becomes a great place for sand eels. And so the sand eels are probably the basis of the amazing wildlife we get here. Best part of 50 years ago, there would have been fishing boats out there, small artisan fishing boats, fishing for lobsters and crabs mainly. Also, this was 50 years ago, we'd be hearing cuckoos. And we've lost probably 80–90% of all our cuckoos. So that's a sadness. Rather than give me hope, it gives me inspiration. And and the people that it draws here also give me hope. I would say that's pretty fair. There's a bunch of really nice people turn up here. There's people like Ken, who we bumped into each other about 10–15 years ago. He's a great photographer. I saw things out there and wanted someone who could photograph them, so Ken, Ken turned up the goods, and so that's created projects, and along with the fact that I created Sea Trust based on the wildlife here and wanting to protect it, which has in its turn grown a life of its own. It literally changed my life. Yeah, there's just a lot of very amazing memories. It's a good place.